Hello, today we're going to talk about lesson 5-5, dividing decimals. So, first, quick review. A divisor is the number that's being divided by, and a dividend is the number that's being divided. The quotient is the answer. So, here's the same exact page we had last time, and we're kind of going to go over it in a minute. So, refresher. When I am dividing decimals, what I need to do is, if you remember how I talked about last time, I'm going to write it the way I say it. So I'm going to say 240 divided by 80. And that way I kind of remember which number goes inside and which number goes outside. And so let's look at another one. This one's a little trickier because it is 2.48 divided by 0.8. What you need to do in a problem like this, the first step is kind of guess. I know that 8 goes into 24, but I'm not going to guess yet because first I want to understand what happens with my decimals because these decimals are kind of crazy. So I need to make this right here a whole number. 8 needs to be a whole number. And in order to make 8 a whole number, really what I am doing is I'm multiplying it by 10. Because my decimal, I need to move over one place. So it is going to become 0. That didn't work very well. 0.8 into 2.48. So my 8, I need to move my decimal over one place, and so it's going to become 8. At the same time, I have to move my decimal in 2.48 over one place as well. Only one place. If I move it over in the divisor, I move it over in the dividend, and I move it over the exact same number of spaces. If I move it over one time, all I'm really doing is multiplying by 10. If I move it over twice, I'm really multiplying by 100. If I multiply it, or if I move it over 4 times, I am multiplying it by 10,000. It's by whatever number with that many zeros. So it becomes 8 into 24.8. When I look at that, I know that 8 goes into 24 3 times. So I know my answer will be around 3. It'll be a little over, but I know it's going to be around 3. Next, I'm going to move my decimal into my answer. Very first thing, so I don't forget it. I didn't do a very good job on the last lesson doing that. 8 goes into 24 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. 24 minus 24 is 0, but now I need to bring down my 8. 8 goes into 8 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. And I'm done. So my answer would be 3.1. 3.1 is kind of close to my estimate, which was 3. So why do I always need to estimate? In reality, the reason I need to estimate is it gives me an idea of what my answer should be. So let's look at the next problems. Here we go. On this one right here, we're going to walk step by step through it. So it says estimate. I always wait to estimate until I have the decimals moved. So we're going to wait on this one. It says multiply dividend and divisor by what power of 10? Well, if I'm going over one place in both of them, it is by the power of 10. It's not by a power of 100, not by a power of 1,000. It's a power of 10 because 10 has 1 0, and I am moving it one place. Next, it says place the decimal in the quotient. That means I need to move the decimal up in the answer. So I'm going to move it up right here because it's right here. Let me make my decimal blue right here and right here. Next, it says divide. How many zeros do you need to add next? That means how many zeros do I need to add? I don't know yet. So I'm going to start dividing and we'll figure it out. 2 goes into 15 7 times. 7 times 2 is 14. 15 minus 14 is 1. And now I need to add a 0 and bring it down. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus 10 is 0. Okay, how many zeros did I need to add? 1. Right here. Let me color it red. This 0 right here is the only one I needed to annex. I only needed to add 1, so I'm going to put 1 right here. And I forgot the estimate step. But 2 goes into 15. Well, I think, 2 goes into 14 7 times. 2 goes into 16 8 times. So my answer is going to be somewhere between 7 and 8. Did I get the correct answer? Is my answer between 7 and 8? It is. 7.5 is. So this means that my answer was reasonable. Let's look at another problem. Here's another couple of problems. For number 2, I am doing 0.6 into 0.36. First step I need to do is I need to move my decimal. So I'm going to move my decimal in 0.6 over 1 place. That means in the dividend, I need to move it over 3 places, or 1 place too. So now I need to move my decimal up into my answer. So I'm going to move it up here between 3 and 6, where my decimal is. 6 does not go into 3. Because 6 doesn't go into 3, I'm going to put 0 in front of my decimal point. 6 does go into 36. 6 goes into 36 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36. 36 minus 6, or 36 minus 36 would be 0, and so my answer would be 0.6. Let's look at number 3. I'm going to write it right here, 0.4 into 9.6. We're starting kind of easy with numbers that you can kind of work with. My first step that I need to do is I need to move my decimal. So I'm going to move it 1 place and 1 place. Step 2, I need to move it up into the answer. Step 3, I should be estimating. 4 goes into 96. I know that 4 times 25 is 100. So I know it's between 20 and 25, because 4 times 20 is 80, and 4 times 25 is 100. So let's see. 4 goes into 9 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. 9 minus 8 is 1, and I'm going to bring down my 6. 4 goes into 16 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 minus 16 is 0, so I am done. So my answer is 24 point, but it's really, I would write it just as a whole number, 24, because this is one of those imaginary rules that we've been talking about throughout the school year. Now let's look at number 4. I have 0.75 into 0.3. Wow, 0.75 is a lot bigger of a number than 0.3, so my answer is going to be pretty small with this one. With this kind of a problem, the first thing I need to do is I'm looking at 0.75. Well, I need to move my decimal over 2 places. But when I'm looking at 0.3, I'm only seeing 1 place. I need to add another place, and I need to add a 0 right here. So right now, I already know that I've got to move my decimal up here, and I've got at least 1 decimal place. Now, 75 does not go into 30. 30 is a lot smaller than that. So I need to put a 0 right here, and I need to add another 0. How many times does 75 go into 300? This is one that I know the mental math, and so I'm able to do 75 times 4. But I'm really going to do 75 plus 75, which gives me 150 plus 75, which gives me 225 plus 75, which gives me 300. So this one, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 times 75 is 300. So I'm going to put 300 down here, and I'm going to subtract. 300 minus 300 is 0. So I don't have any remainder. So my answer here would be 0.4. If you have a 0 in front of your decimal place, you always put that 0 in your answer. Do not just put 0.4. That is very easy to miss that decimal point. And I know in junior high and high school, when you do that, they will mark it wrong. So get in the habit of putting a 0 in front of it now. Let's look at a few more problems. Right here, number 5. Fernando used tenths grids to draw this picture showing 0.16 divided by 0.4 equals 4. Draw a picture showing 1.8 divided by 0.6. This is tricky. I do not like drawing these pictures, I'll be honest. So the first thing I need to do is I need to draw 2 boxes, and both of my boxes need to have 10 pieces in them. So I'm going to divide it in half, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me do it again. I'm an artist. I know. It's awesome. So now what I've got to do, the next thing I need to do is I need to say, okay, what is 1.8? 1.8 is a full 1, and then it's 8 of the second one. Okay. So that right there is 1.8. I'm leaving it partly colored because now I have to divide them into 0.6. So 0.6 means I need to take sections with 6 of these little slices in it. And so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this right here is one of my slices of 0.6. This next one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me do that one in red. So here's 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's another slice. And now let me do one more slice. I'm going to do this one in orange. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these 6 pieces right here. Okay. So now, if you remember the example up here, the answer would be 3 because there's 1, 2, 3. There's a green section, a red section, and an orange section. So there's 3 sections total. So my answer would be that. Let's look at another one. Never mind. We're done. Good luck on your assignment today. Make sure you take your time. Make sure you remember the steps. Number 1, move the decimal over in the divisor. Step 2, move it over that exact same number of places in your dividend. Number 3, move it up to your answer. And number 4, divide it like we have been. Good luck on your assignment.